I thought you were bringing up a video or something.
No.
My apologies, everybody. Welcome to the Science Fair 2019. This is my project, Wonderful Weathering. It all starts with a question every experiment does and every project does. My question for this experiment was, does weathering affect metamorphic, sedimentary, and igneous rocks differently by constantly freezing and thawing them rocks in the freezer? Well, I hypothesized that I believe that different types of rock would weather at different rates. I thought that sedimentary would weather first, followed by metamorphic, and then last in place would be igneous rock. My materials I used for this project were the freezer. You need a lot of counter space for this project. It's a very necessary thing. Ice trays are also important, as portrayed here. You will need a pen or a Sharpie, either one works. You will need to have your teacher help you, or you can do it yourself, of creating charts and graphs, which are on this stick, and if you would like to see what actually happened afterwards, you can check this folder, and there are all my charts and graphs and notes for the 8-week period that I did this project. You can use either, depending on your style. You can use normal masking tape, which is a little boring, but you can use it. Or you can use, like me, pretty washi tape to make it pretty. And then the rocks that I got for each of these projects were basalt, as portrayed by the igneous rocks. And there are 10 of them to fit 10 of the ice cube holes, as I'm going to call them for this experiment. I had a sedimentary rock where I used sandstone. And I will apologize in advance, I did not know before this experiment that beach pebbles were not metamorphic rocks. But I originally chose beach pebbles as my metamorphic rock. But another rock will suffice for the metamorphic rock. Any different rock you would like for this works. It all depends on your style and what is good for your resources. So I started by creating the charts and graphs with Mrs. Moser here at the school, right on that computer. And next I gathered all my supplies, which are right here. And after that, I got my 3 ice cube trays. I took the tape and I put it on the sides. I put one at the top for the type of rock that was going to be in that ice cube tray. And then I numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I did that for each rock group. And I had that for sedimentary, igneous, and metamorphic if you got a little bit lost while doing that. Next, what I did was I put my 10 rocks I put all these rocks into my freezer for 2 days. And then I took them out onto the counter and let them thaw for 2 days. And then I let them freeze for 2 days. And I repeated this process 8 times to see if the constant freezing and thawing would weather the rocks over time and make them break down and crumble. As you can see, I have my observations right over here, which will show what happened in that 8-week period. There are a few notes, such as a debate with my father, and a couple extra things. If you would like to see a pictorial representation of it, you can look at the charts over here, which show the ice cube progress for the igneous rocks over the 8-week period. Same for the sedimentary, same for the metamorphic, and this is for all the rocks over the 8-week course of time. For this chart and for the observations, I used my scale of decomposition, which I created when I made my charts and graphs, and it goes from 1 to 5, 1 having no change to 5 falling apart and making everything sad. Then I got my results at the end, as any person would. I realized that my hypothesis was incorrect, because what happened was the igneous weathered first, then the sedimentary, and then the metamorphic, unlike with my hypothesis where I said it was going to be sedimentary first, followed by metamorphic, and then by igneous. Now, some variables which might have played into this weathering and thawing of the project might have been the water temperature, the temperature of the freezer, or the types of rocks I used. We would have to have further experimentation with different types of rocks, and it would probably take a lot of years to figure out which rocks would weather the best, under what conditions, and with what water. I also probably should have tested the acidic level of water, because I don't know if there was acid in our water or not. Don't know. And if there is, then I'm putting acid into my system every day, which is a little disappointing. And I concluded that after the 8 weeks, my hypothesis, as I said, was wrong, that the igneous rock weathered the fastest of them all, and then the sedimentary. Now you will see with the igneous rock, even though it doesn't look that broken, it's actually, if you pick up the rocks and look at them, there are cracks all over them. But if you look in the sedimentary department, you will see that there are rocks which physically period of freezing and thawing, because this used to be one rock when I originally started the experiment. But that was my experiment. I had a lot of fun doing it, and I would definitely do it again. And I would probably make the changes of actually getting a real metamorphic rock and using different water temperatures and different types of water. Maybe filtered water would change it, maybe tap water would change it. I really don't know. But I think that those could play into the weathering process as well. Thank you. Anybody have any questions?